Hello and welcome to another edition of Paranormal Activity and Mysterious Stories. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first video is out of London, I think this is. Let's see, I got another video out of Illinois. A couple strange lights in the sky out here. This one is from California. Just strange lights. Also have this an older video here which seems to show a Bigfoot-like creature running through this field. I also have this audio footage, or it's a video, but it's of the audio of the 2006 O'Hare UFO incident that took place in Chicago. Also got this video off of Reddit. I think this is one of the SpaceX rockets returning, and you see this strange centipede-like creature, I don't know what you want to call it, in the background, which is very similar to, I just want to show this video because I think this video also shows what may be some kind of organic creatures that exist in either the low Earth atmosphere or low Earth orbit. This is a really interesting video by Billy Carson. We are living in a simulated reality. He talks about the quantum entanglement and how the power of prayer actually works if you know how to do it right. And he also mentions how it's a possibility that, that we are all aliens, that back in the past, there must have been some type of alien intervention with a species that was already here on the planet. Kind of what I believe too. This is just an interesting image that I found. You see, what looks to be a UFO. I'm not too sure what the context behind this or where this came from. And then last is this article from Ancient Origins. This is an older article, but I thought it was interesting, how things like this, I think they give a date to when this was made, but I'm not too sure if that's real. And I find it very hard to believe that primitive man, or even people in the 11th century or 10th century were able to do something like this. I mean, look at these are the people down here. But anyways, let me get to the first video we got here. Let me go full screen. Let me see. Yeah, here, so we can give some perspective.
Y sorprendente avistamiento de un objeto volador no identificado volando a muy baja altura.
Wow, you know what? Something, I'm not too sure what that was that just flew by.
En Inglaterra se reportó un nuevo y sorprendente avistamiento de un objeto volador no identificado volando a muy baja altura.
Yeah, see right there. I mean, what was that? Was that a helicopter?
Volando a muy baja altura. Este espectacular ovni, de tamaño considerable, fue grabado a través de un...
Well, that's all this video shows, this thing over and over again. If I play too much of this video, they'll hit me with copyright infringement. So I will leave a link in the description so you can take a look at it when you want. Let's take a look at this video here. Yeah, I'm sure this is that right there is most likely some kind of a reflection on the inside. He must be taking it from inside his car or something, or... Yeah, but these lights are for sure something. Yeah, but that's it for this video. That's all this thing does. It just shows these strange lights. Again, what is that? I'm sure that's that's something from, I'm sure inside his camera or something, or a reflection. But it's this. Now, is this one object or is it three separate objects? Interesting. I will leave a link in the description. Okay, now let's check this video out here. Let's see, let me go full screen.
No, es esfera. Es una esfera.
I'm not too sure. This the title says it's in California, but I'm not too sure where in California.
Desvaneció. Yeah. Sí.
Well, again, that's all this video does. It just shows this light. If you've watched my videos before, I'm sure you've heard me say this, but I just want to say it again. There's definitely other life out there that must come and visit us. For whatever reason, I guess they're just coming in, popping in and popping out, because I guess, if I had the ability to travel intergalactically, yeah, why wouldn't I just enter some other planet's atmosphere, hang out for a little while, and then go away? I guess I would do that. But I think that the majority of these lights that we see, especially the squadrons or fleets of UFOs that our military runs into underwater, I think those are most likely from the advanced species that also share the planet with us. Yeah, I think we're getting way too many sightings, and now we're finding out. And if anyone watches any of the Ancient Aliens or any of those other UFO shows on cable, people have been having sightings for years. Literally, this goes back thousands of years. So there's no way that we're the only sentient beings on this planet. There has to be other intelligent beings, and highly intelligent beings. And for sure, these Bigfoots are, another. I think they're a cross between a hominid and a primate, because they definitely have family groups. I have that one video where there's like 6 of them in a group hunting buffalo in Yosemite. Or they definitely have some humanity to them. And I also have a video about the kidnapping of Albert Ostman, and he encountered a male, a female, and a small teenage Bigfoot. So yeah, I think they're a cross between a hominid and a primate. And yeah, another thing, but I think they're a cross between a hominid and a primate is because all the videos that show them turning, they can't turn their necks. Whenever they turn, they have to turn their entire chest, like most monkeys and gorillas. Yeah, that's definitely something moving pretty quick out there. Now, I can't play too much of this video, but things like this can definitely be hoaxed. But my question is, if it was hoaxed, or if this is done by a prankster, where's their video? There are definitely videos of people who are doing this out there, but that's the thing. Whenever pranksters do things like this, they put it out there. I don't think anyone's going to go through all the effort of purchasing or making or, whatever it takes to get themselves into a monkey outfit, and then the effort that it takes to get out into the wilderness. And then, unless they're into or around a tourist spot, how do they happen to just run into, one of the few people out in these desolate areas? So again, yeah, it could be pranked. If this is pranked, where are the pranksters' videos showing themselves doing this, and then having a reverse shot? Because if they're out there pranking this, they have to have another cameraman, I would assume. So would that cameraman get reaction footage of these guys who are filming this? Wouldn't that be, wouldn't that be the way it's done? If the pranksters aren't putting out videos, I have to, I have to believe that things like this are authentic. But anyways, let me go on to this next video here. This is from the 06 O'Hare UFO incident. It's just the audio. Let me just jump ahead real quick to hear.
Search, we have obtained the audio of radio communications between United Airlines and the FAA at Chicago O'Hare International Airport on the afternoon of November 7th, 2006.
No, I have not seen anything, so alright. If I do, I don't know what I'll do. If I see it, I guess I'll back it up with you, but no, I'll keep an eye out. Alright, bye. Alright, there. I'm going to Dwight. Dwight? Yes. What happened to Dave? Did he have to take a break because I called him? No. This is Super United. Yes. Dude, there was a disc out there flying around. There was a what? A disc?
Well, I can't play. I'm sure people understand by now. I cannot play all of these videos. I can only play little clips, and then I have to stop and start it so I don't get hit with copyright violations. But, this is an 8-minute and 40-second clip. It's basically the entire audio of this incident. It's authentic. It's real. This thing happened. So if you want to hear the play-by-play, I will leave a link in the description so you can take a look at that. Let's go to this video here. This video shows some kind of strange. Look at this thing down here. A centipede-like creature.
This helps to slow the stage down as it re-enters the upper parts of the Earth's atmosphere,
and that thing, this is not the first time that thing has been videotaped or photographed. There are people from Earth who have taken photographs of that. And, there's some people who think that just in the same way there is life on every environment on this planet. If you go to the deepest parts of the ocean, if you go to the, the coldest parts on Earth, or even to the hottest parts, life somehow finds a way to exist and to thrive in any environment. So there's some people who think that, even in the low Earth atmosphere, there must be some type of creature, not there must be, but there seems to be, based on many of the photographs and videos that people have taken, some type of life forms or organisms that live in our atmosphere and high in our atmosphere, and also here in low Earth orbit. This is from the NASA UFO STS-75. This is called the Tether incident. I've done several videos on this, but basically the backstory is NASA was trying to use or come up with a way of utilizing the electromagnetic electricity coming from the sun. So they built this contraption here, which is actually, this is 12 miles long, but it was supposed to be some type of array that was going to be used to collect electromagnetic energy that was coming off the sun. And what happened is it worked too well. It started collecting so much energy that it fried itself from where it was connecting with the shuttle, I think it was, or the space station. But anyways, it ended up, like here, like in this shot here, it ended up floating away so far away that it was basically like having a giant ruler in space, because they know this thing is 12 miles long. And all these things that you're seeing here, this is not, you can't see these with the naked eye. This is being shot with an infrared camera. So all of these objects that you're seeing can only be seen in the infrared spectrum. Yet we cannot see this with our naked eye. But, if you study these things real closely, and people have, you'll see that there's some type of energy pulse coming off of them. And because, like I said, because this is like having a giant ruler in space. Let me go back to because this is like having they're able to figure out the size of these things. And they've determined that these things are anywhere from 2 to 5 miles wide. Yes, I said miles. These things are 2 to 5 miles wide. And, and they'll just appear and disappear. But I think based on the number of these things, that these are some kind of like space bovines. Yeah, look at this one here, how it's glittering. And again, I think it was Nassim Haramein when he talks about this. He says that the way that the energy is shooting out from this thing, that it's in a fractal pattern. But what's hilarious is NASA will try and say that these are particles of ice, which is, of course, it's ridiculous. Which is why it's so hard to believe anything they say. Look at this thing here. Oh yeah, what's also interesting is there was a small tribe of people called the Dropas that were found up in the hills of China, and actually, the other villagers around them ended up killing them all because they all looked so weird. But let's see if I'll find a picture of them and insert the picture of the Dropa so you can see what they look like. But what was also found with these Dropas, and the backstory is they said that they crash landed on Earth, but they have some of these discs that resemble this shape, which is very, very interesting. But I'll leave a link to this in the description so you can take a look at that. Let me go to this next video here. Yeah, this video here, I watched it last night. Very, very interesting. This is Billy Carson, who says, "We are living in a simulated reality. The ancient evidence. The history of the Emerald Tablets is strange and beyond the belief of modern scientists. Their antiquity is stupendous, dating back some 36,000 years BC. Within ancient teachings, we learn that there exists a set of cosmological theories which states that the distribution of matter in the universe, or the structure of the universe itself, is a fractal holographic matrix." Billy Carson delves deep into the fabric of space-time and Mandelbrot fractals, linking the wisdom of the Thoth, Hermes, and the principle of as above, so below with what modern scientists is just starting to rediscover. But let me go to a part where he introduces some of his ideas.
Have anybody here heard of quantum entanglement before? Okay. Quantum entanglement is very important. It's a very powerful thing. It links us to the spiritual world. The reason why prayers work, if you know how to pray, and that's a very important thing I talk about at a lot of my seminars, you have to know how to pray, because there's two different ways to pray. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about it here as well. But you must quantum entangle with the source energy. And when you quantum entangle with the source energy, that's when you can get a result. If you're praying at the wrong frequency, in other words, if you're praying from a position of begging, from a position of being on your knees, which is not a problem being on your knees, but you're in the position of, I need help and I don't know where I'm going to get it, and I'm asking and begging for something, a result, versus using the power that's already in you of the creation and commanding your end result, commanding I'm healed, commanding that situation is going to get taken care of, commanding that everything is going to work out in my favor. Not commanding as if I'm the creator of all planets and moons and solar systems and everything else, but commanding knowing that the source energy runs through you, in you, and out of you, and understanding that all of that is on the inside, and then you can push it to alter your reality tunnel on the outside. And in science and quantum physics, you can quantum entangle atoms by simply phase shifting the atomic frequency to the same frequency. So if I take
Well, then, yeah, I start understanding him, but then he gets into that, and that goes a little bit over my head. But, when he talks about how we are all a part of the universe, I remember a friend of mine used this analogy one time with me. He said that, if you hold your hands out in front of you and you look at the space in between your hands, and then if you were to go to any other point in space, let's say, you go 100 light years away and you hold out your hands, that space in front of your hands is the same space, in front of your hands here. That the matter in between there is no different, that it's all the same. And also what I think is interesting is his idea of the power of prayer. I don't remember what book this was in, but it talked about how everything that we see around us, every single item that's around you, if you look around your room right now, everything was at one time just a thought in somebody's head. Every single thing, that there's nothing on the planet that exists now that at one point it only existed in somebody's thought. So, and then eventually, that thought, it gets put on paper, and then it becomes something tangible, something real that you can actually hold. And I always thought that that was a pretty amazing analogy. But let me go on to something else that he says here.
They're in tune with the earth. They're in tune with the planet. And I believe that based on the skull size of some of our ancestors that were here, they weren't called Homo sapiens at that time. They were various different humanoids. To me, in my personal opinion, after looking into the research and looking into some of the archaeological sites, they were way more advanced than us. Their pineal gland was larger. They were spiritually in tune. They most likely had psychic capabilities, can communicate without moving their mouths and everything else, maybe even telekinesis, a lot of other various gifts that we are now all just starting to rediscover, how to download information. And real quick, I want to talk about that.
I just want to mention when he says that at one time that there were other species, I actually believe that there are still multiple species. And even within our species, I mean, if you Google Homo capensis, I've done some videos on this, but yeah, there are, we are Homo sapiens. I think the elongated skulls, the Homo capensis, I don't think they ever disappeared. I think they sort of integrated within our society. And if you look real closely at some people, you can definitely see that that they are the descendants of Homo capensis. That's sort of one of my hobbies when I people watch. I look at people's skulls, and or the shape of a person's skull, and yeah, I've definitely spotted many people who have remnants of the Homo capensis skull. And then there are some who are people who are outright still Homo capensis. I mean, just look into the banking industry, or look into what Karen Hudes has said. But anyways, let me go on to this image here. This image I found on I think it was Reddit, and you can look at this. There's a UFO here, saucer here. I'm not too sure where this comes from, though. But it's definitely very interesting. I'll leave a link in the description. And let me go on to this last article here. The Lashan Giant Buddha, largest stone Buddha in the world. Not far from the city of Chengdu in Sichuan province, China, sits the Lashan Giant Buddha statue, carved into the side of Mount Lingyan. The colossal statue is over 1,300 years old and is considered to be the largest stone Buddha in the world, and by far the tallest pre-modern statue. The site attracts millions of people every year, including Buddhist pilgrims, making it something of a sacred destination and an ancient wonder of the world. I really question this thing, how that it's over 1,300 years old. I'm pretty sure this thing has been here much, much longer. because it's like Billy Carson said, that this planet has gone through several different life cycles, several different periods where humans or humanoids or some other species existed on this planet, and then there was some type of cataclysm. It wiped them completely out. Another civilization grows, and then bam, something else happens, wipes them out, and we just happen to be the present civilization occupying the planet, and then there's nothing to say that one day, hopefully sometime in the far future, something won't happen to us, because if you look at the fossil record, if you look at the fossil record, it's the evidence is there that there have been multiple cataclysms that have impacted this planet many times. But anyways, I hate to leave this video on that note, but that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.